getting pretty close. Next 20 seconds or so. Hopefully my voice and the countdown are in sync. And hopefully this will tell you where we are on the delay, if any. All right, so we got 2, 1, go. So let's see. So, hi there, welcome. My name is Kyle, software developer for about 20 years of my life now, 33. Recently got into the hobby of CNCs, got a little bit overboard maybe, but started building a little lab here, and one of the things I'm just trying to prepare for is dust and fumes with laser engraving and with the CNCs running and cutting through some wood, potentially metal. I just want to get rid of any potential dust that might be in the room. So this is a little space where I'm going to be putting it. I'm going to be building it out of 2020 extruded aluminum. And basically that'll just act as a frame, and I have these what are essentially roof panels for greenhouses, but they're ribbed transparent panels, allowing me to basically create a barrier and creating a controllable environment for dust control. So at least in this episode, we'll try building a frame, and then we'll basically in later episodes or streams, we'll be putting together the ventilation, the air control, making sure we have all the power needed to run it, which is going to include some PSUs and distribution distribution outlets, distributed outlets. So basically there's a 30 amp here, and that'll run everything. We'll be able to measure the wattage and everything as well. But the goal here is to basically build a room for dust extraction, fume extraction, and also have the ability to then put CNCs in this room and run and control those remotely from some custom software that I'll be developing as part of the streaming series. So yeah, well, I'll kind of move over to an overhead shot that you see in that bottom corner. This corner, I guess. I'm new to streaming, so bear with me. Just trying to get into the rhythm. It's like a new thing for me. All right, let's see. I'll go overhead, which will allow me to kind of explain some of the things I got here. Hopefully that looks okay. Basically, 2020 extruded aluminum is this this thing here, and it has these 4 faces on each side of this square profile with a small, roughly 5mm slot running down and acting like a channel throughout the entire framing extruded aluminum. So this hole in the middle often could be used with threads and M5 screws to connect these things, join them securely, and there's a lot of usage. In this case, we're going to be able to use them as a frame. We won't need to do anything with this, so things will be a lot easier, but we will be using these, which are like basically nuts that allow you to screw I believe it's an M5 threaded bolt into here and lock essentially anything onto these channels. So we'll also have these, we'll be using these inner right angle joints, and what these do is they slide directly into the channel, just like so, and a small set screw, which you can see the hole. A small set screw will sit in here, and it will hold this thing to the channel, so it doesn't slide. The particular one I have here, potentially most of them, all the ones I've seen anyways, the way it's designed is it only will allow you to basically slide down one end of the L-shaped joint. So that's useful in a lot of ways. Let's see, for controlling rigidity. There's this thing here. So this is an outer joining bracket. So basically you'll be able to put one here. You could put another item here, and you can join them at a right angle like that. It'll just use this joint with some set screws, rather some bolts and some some of these locking nuts, I guess we'll call them. All right. Yeah, so basically all the tools we'll need are here. These are the some of the, these look like M, I suppose those must be M5. So pretty small threaded bolts. And they just take a hex wrench or an Allen wrench, I believe it's called. So a few different sizes of that, depending on if it's a set screw or not. Then we have a whole bunch of these with a nice round, rounded, I don't know what they call that, the profile of the actual insert. Okay, so in addition to that, we also have some handles and some hinges, which are designed for these 2020 extruded aluminums, and it will allow us to effectively make a door. That'll be used obviously to get in and out of the fume and dust extraction room. In addition, we'll need some tools, and I've already cut a bunch, but you know, obviously a measuring tape, a leveling bar, and in this case, the greenhouse roofing panels. They're like plastic, so I'm just going to use this razor to cut them. I actually haven't tried it, so hopefully that works. If not, we'll get something a little better, but or at least a new razor. Okay, so yeah, the idea here is to take all of these components, 2020 extruded aluminum. In this case, actually, I should clarify, I'll be using these outer corner brackets specifically to actually to tighten the frame, tighten the framing to the wall. For example, by holding it laterally like this, I'll be able to basically screw it into a wall, screw it into something to hold it there. All right, so what else we got here? We also have these straight joint connectors, and this just allows us, in the case of the door, we'll need a gap horizontally. There'll be just a couple of these guys connected like this, effectively. So this will just keep that secure, and that's basically everything. So I've already started this on a previous stream. I was having some camera issues, unfortunately, some computer streaming issues, but those are all resolved now. So basically, I'm just going to pick up where I left off. You can kind of see this frame, hopefully on the ground. Let me move over here to the side and see if I can't get it down. So I have this frame here on the ground I've already started. And you can kind of see it basically just runs from this side of the wall over to this this column I have here. And that column is just used to separate the rooms. So yeah, so let's continue. So basically, let me get the overhead shot. We need to take these set screws, put them into with the locking side down, facing the outside of the. Where's this angle? Facing the outside, perpendicular to the outside. Let's see. Okay. And then I am going to need 1, 2, and 3, 4 more of these. So let me get these all set up. It's kind of going to be a real-time stream. I mean, I'm just going to build this thing. Hopefully it gets quicker as I go. And y'all can just kind of follow along. Later I'll clip it all out, make it easier to follow, and it'll hopefully be a lot nicer of a video. Okay, so if you have questions or anything, if you want to chat, please feel free to comment. I do have at the bottom of the stream, would be the bottom. This way, I suppose, right here, down in this area. The chat is recorded, so if you do decide you want to send a message, we should see it there, and then I should be able to see it as well on my streaming OS. So let's see. All right. So yeah, a couple of these. So I need a couple more. One and two. Yeah. So for these, and then I can finish up this one frame, and then we'll kind of get an idea of what it's going to be like to cut this roofing panel with the razor blade, and I have no idea how that's going to go. Should be interesting. All right. And this will just be one wall. The other walls are a little bit more complicated, and I think it's a good thing I'm starting with this one just to kind of see how it's going to go. But I mean, the main point of this is just to make an enclosed room that is more or less airtight. That's not going to be letting a bunch of particles drip out and then leak out, rather, and then basically throw in some fans in there, some powerful fans to pull the air out and push some new clean air in with some filters, and go from there. And that'll at least keep me safe while I'm outside the room from breathing in anything I don't want to breathe in. All right, so we got 4 of these. Let me go ahead and move back over to the other camera. All right, cool. And actually, I already have 2 of these from when I was doing this before, so I really only need 2. Grab the Allen wrench, and that'll help me get these set screws tightened. In addition, I think now is the time to go ahead and cut one of these. So I'll see how that goes. I was kind of hoping it'd be like pretty straightforward, but somehow I think it's not going to be. These are kind of cool panels. I just like the idea of being able to sort of see at least what I'm doing without necessarily worrying about a bit flying out at me, and also being able to keep it enclosed so that I can make sure this even goes in. There we go. All right. So I just got to cut this side. Hopefully at the right point, and make it nice and even cut all the way down. Just gonna slide that for now. All right, so it does seem like it's going to take a little bit of pressure to get these roofing panels into the T-slot channels on the extruded aluminum, but it shouldn't be a big deal. All right, that's not tightened down yet. Cool. Okay. Cool. So let me grab the razor blade. And we'll see how this first cut goes. So I want to make sure this is over there, and then so there's probably a more specific way to cut this, but I believe I can push this in. Yeah. And then just cut along this channel here on this side. It should be more or less, maybe a little bit of space to wiggle, but hopefully should stick in. So I go down this channel here and Yeah, so far the cutting is not awesome. It does seem pretty tough to cut through. So let's I mean, it kind of seems like maybe scissors would even be good here, because the problem is it's ribbed, and so I think all the ribs are kind of just getting in the way. All right, so I hope this is clean enough after that it'll slide well into the channel. Alright. Yeah, this is not as easy as I was hoping. It's definitely tough, but doable. Just a little bit tough. Alright. Gonna move to the other side. I don't know if you can see me, but basically just trying to wrap up the cut on this end close to the column. That might have been too much. No real science involved here. I'm just roughly cutting this thing, because my hope is, anyway, that it should be mostly, any errors should be mostly hidden by the extruded aluminum channel. So I'm just hoping there's enough tolerance that I don't go within that tolerance. That might have been. All right. I mean, it's basically just really hard plastic. Definitely a lot harder to cut than I was hoping it would be. Let's see how this looks. So the goal here is to get it into. It might be easier to take that off with the set screw. Take that one corner off and then slide it back on after. So let me try that. Okay. Try and keep my backside off the screen here. All right, let's see. Okay, so I misplaced an Allen wrench. Yeah, one side of that is not the straightest cut, but here it looks like the Allen wrench, and the there are two joints, and then this side I'll go ahead and unset. All right, just put down. And then because of these, because of the joints in the corners of each of these panels, the razor needs to be used to cut just around them. And then at the end, I'm going to use putty, basically silicone, to go around the edges, just to make sure everything's secured But let's see. So all right, that does slide in. Sounds good, at least. And get rid of some of the extra material at the bottom with the razor. Okay, cut that off. All right, should be good on that side. And then make sure there's a little bit of tolerance. Yeah. Yeah, so basically just cutting out these little corner grooves where the joints are so that they can sit nicely beside this. And then the idea would be to put silicone in around the edges like trim, just to make sure it's all closed up. No AC in here currently, so I am going to be potentially sweating. So keep that in mind. Let me do the other side here. And again, this is the first time I'm actually doing it this way. So in the past, I've just purchased like grow tents and things like that to help keep dust and fumes and solids unfiltered. And to some degree, I'm just kind of like re-implementing some of those purchases here to be able to do the same thing, but just in a slightly larger and also, I guess, safer or less prone to having bits fly off towards your equipment. So in this case, I have my streaming computer, I have other things in here as well. I just don't want affected by any loose bits. So so what I'm doing now is just cutting the corners, little notches out of them, basically just enough to fit. All right, to fit these L joints that go in the corners of these 2020 extruded aluminums. So seems like it's gonna help to take this off around the edges. So I'll go ahead and do that. Someone looks like on both sides, I believe. There we go. Okay. So the idea, the hope, the dream is just because this is my first wall, it'll start going a lot quicker once I get it kind of figured out. It's sort of just improve on the process. All right. Yeah, very, there's not much air current going through here at the moment, and there's no AC, so I do have a small desk fan going off just to move air around. It's doing nothing to regulate my body temperature. Okay. Okay, I'll worry about getting that off a little bit later. All right, so these edges are now freed up. And I can see, at least in this corner, there's a little bit more I have to cut to get the fit down, I believe. Let's see. Yes. So not too much. Let's make sure it's right. Okay. All right. Almost done. All right. Get this out of the way. Okay. Slide that down. Slide it here. Okay, that went down. Came out. So the problem here is I can't reach across. Let me see if I can get in there. Probably move it some more that way. All right. So I think it's probably gonna be easiest to do this standing it up. Give that a shot. Take that just in case. I might even go ahead and temporarily affix that to the wall. Without, let's see. This first piece in here, hopefully smoothly. It's like a little bit warped at this point from just being in the shop, being passed around for a while. Place to place as this was getting prepared. So let's see. Okay. Ooh. It's like you take it out on one side very quickly, wants to come out on the other side. It's so warped. I think what I'll do is try to get it into a piece of wall, and then I can use that to kind of here, hopefully help steer it down the rest of the line at the bottom. Okay. Top is in, the bottom is now struggling due to just the shape of this panel. rest of this. And I don't, to be honest, I don't know there's a better way to do this, or like as far as like building extraction rooms and maybe just using, maybe it would have been easier just to do something with cloth, similar to what I had previously, or fabric anyways. But I mean, this is in, so that seems good enough for me. Let me see how this goes. This is a pretty important part of this. Sliding in. Let's go. Get on in there. Just having a little bit of trouble getting this interior L joint piece to slide down. What's going on here? Okay, interesting. Seems the set screw has gone a little bit too far down. Bring it back out some. Okay. Alright, so it does seem pretty good actually, but I might need to cut that corner in a little more. And this needs to be, I think, overall straighter of a cut. Because maybe the gap or the amount of tolerance on the inside, maybe it's not that much. So let me see here. Excuse me, by the way. All right, go get in there. Okay. So it is kind of snapping in, which is part of the idea here, but yeah, once it's just not straight enough at all is the problem. So let me clean that up, straighten it up, and then I think it should be okay to go. Let's see here. I'm just gonna put you on standby for just a moment, and you can take a look at the. Oh, maybe I can give you the countdown screen. Standby is not really fleshed out. You can take a look at the Patreon members in the meantime, and I'm just gonna take a one moment, step away. BRB. All right, and I am back. So switch back over to the view. Basically, oh wow. Basically, you guys can't see nothing now. Okay, yeah. So what's happened now is bring the camera around. What's happened now is I went and grabbed a T-square. It should help me make some cleaner cuts here. Probably have to go a little bit slower. I was thinking, first one I might as well try it out, see how well it cuts, but not great as it turns out. All right. So let's go. So T-square. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to definitely pull it out to be able to actually get this set screw put down, but should be okay in the meantime. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's see. Let's go right there. And I'll just do this. Yeah, it shows up. Good enough. Okay, that's already pretty well cut there. All the way up. Cool. So it's mostly just that bottom region. It's really far off. Okay, razor over here. We'll get this right. Apparently the Allen wrench is over here as well. Okay. Yeah, oh wow, this just barely reaches this camera. That is no good. Well, I wanted you to be able to see both top and bottom. Can I get my my face in here? It looks like I can. So, okay, yeah. So the goal now is to just straighten up this edge. That should allow me to get this other piece on, and then wonder. I doubt a reciprocal saw. I gotta cut this with maybe like a regular saw, or even well, maybe razor's the way to go. It's really tough to get straight cuts. It's certainly not going to be a fast process. If I can just get it all mostly to the other end of that black line, I think it should be okay. Hopefully, let's see. All right. Oh, so much to cut. Okay. I mean, it's oddly pretty to look at when you cut it. But God, I'm pretty sure this thing will slice me open too. It's such thin, like strong plastic. I just feel like I do not want to let that cut me. I'm not going to give it a chance to cut me, but I think, well, I certainly hope that's good enough right there. I can already see this is going to need to be cut more. And the other side as well. Need to be cut more. And unfortunately, has to be pulled down anyways for the sake of being able to get the set screw in. Okay. So it is holding in there pretty well though. I mean, I gotta say, like, this 2020 is just dangling all over this wall over here. And it's holding itself. Okay. Shoot. Well, it's out again. There we go. See if I can get it back in. Okay, I think we're back. It's definitely very tedious. I mean, imagine having a second hand would make this a lot easier. So I am seeing the bottom corner over there, not quite in, but let me try and make this work anyways. Yeah, so realistically, this has to be in there so you can get the set screwed in. And that is going to make it more of a struggle to get I mean, this is going to be fastened and to the wall, and it may not be a big deal, but let's just see what we can do here. Okay, so this side, that's not great. It might actually be easier to slide it all from the top down, I wonder. Alright, so I should have wore socks. Alright, so that's almost just about going in. But I think the issue is going to be with it not being all the way down. So, yeah, I think my best bet is going to be to attach these to the wall ahead of time. That way I'm not having to fight with this thing. And then should, I would hope, come together a lot easier. This side, I guess with it being cut, as opposed to a factory edge cut, it's razor cut by me. Very inconsistent, but hopefully on average it's right. Yeah, it's sliding in, but it's not all the way in the bottom, I see. Yeah, definitely the kind of thing you might use a hand, bring someone with you. All right, so I think what I'll do is maybe I can lean it against something over here. Let's see. Okay. Wow, that might be this might make things a lot easier. But you know, you just kind of have to like start skinning the cat until you figure out all the ways you can skin it. So that's what I am by no means a professional extraction room designer and or builder, but these things mostly made sense in my head, so I'm hoping it just works out and makes sense in real life. Okay. As long as the bottom gets in successfully. both sides. Which looks looking pretty good. It's on all the way down. All the way down, it's on. And then right at the end, it's a little short at the bottom, and I think it might be, unfortunately, I think it might be a hair short all the way down, but I'll have to make sure to get the next cut a lot better. Might even just be able to swap this piece out and just do another cut, but make it the correct size. Which I think I'll do. I'll do that because I mean, it should be enough for some caulk to cover up most of this. Let's see. All right, so with that being on, I just have essentially the top and then the half and then another piece on that piece. So this is the thing I just referred to as the half. It needs to go all the way. These are both not screwed in. Interesting. Needs to go all the way. Needs to go like that. That one needs to go like that. Get the Allen wrench. Okay, I am sweating up a storm working on this. Please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. I don't see any messages so far, but take your time. You know, I'm not gonna rush you. Okay. All right. This will go down. Wrong side. Somehow I managed to get it on the wrong side anyways. Okay, this will go down, lock in. Is this right? This might be right, actually. Okay, all right, what I'm doing now, just screwing that in there. The idea will be that this will slide down on both ends. And I might use one of these to kind of like make sure I got this size right, but what should happen here is that it should just allow me to slide that screwed in right down the existing T-frame vertically, and then the idea being that I can then stack this on top of the sheet that I currently have there, the roof panel. And then hopefully that'll be held in tightly. So let's see, what can you guys actually see right now? Because I want to make sure you're able to see this. So, okay, I'm going to move this a little bit more. Okay, hopefully that'll be good enough. Okay, so let's slide this up and on the side. Well, might even be useful out of a step ladder. We're going to be doing it this way. If you don't have assistance, use a step ladder. Okay. Okay, well, that's all right. Slide right back in. Down. All right, so Once again, just like on the bottom corners, I need to cut out some notches where the L joints sit, just to make sure that this can sit in there snugly. So let's go here, go. Okay. Go there, and then we'll go one over here. So hopefully this comes out pretty functional. Because I definitely question myself sometimes, like, what am I doing? Does this make sense? Will this work? And sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it does. I think this will be somewhere in the middle, where it's like not exactly easy to make, kind of tedious, maybe easier with a friend. But overall, tedious AF. All right, so that's one side. Go to this other side. And all I'm doing is just holding the L joint up to it at this point, measuring it, and then cutting it. And that's just to roughly estimate where I need to cut this thing, and then to do as smooth as a job as I can. All right, there we go. Okay, that side, and this side. Okay, cut along here. Okay. All right, that top piece cut out. Do the same on the bottom piece. Might have been easier to do the side before I did the top. Oh God, I could have cut myself pretty badly there. Luckily, I did not. Use razors correctly. Don't cut toward yourself. Okay. All right. I think I'm making progress, but it's really gonna be obvious. Like when one of these walls get done, if they get done, whether or not I'm making progress. Or at least good progress, useful progress. Okay. Okay, actually went in. Surprisingly, something's kind of working. So let's get this side in. Okay. Let's come down. Now we just gotta line that up. Okay. I mean, honestly, like, it kind of went together. I mean, it kind of does, like, just snap together once you get to that point. Anyways, you can kind of just press it in and it snaps together. Okay. I'm just gonna try this out. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. But I'm trying to just hit, because there's kind of like a little bit of a seam there. So it doesn't seem to be working. Interesting. So, because I think, yeah, I can kind of pull, it looks like. But not ideal. So, it might be potentially beneficial to have like a rope in my case because I'm just solo. Have a rope going around so I can kind of like tighten it from both ends and really get it snug up in there. But I want to say I'm not sure that is strictly necessary. And by the way, there's a I've never really cut this stuff before. I've used steel blades and it like comes out all buttery and mushy. It's not very good. This 2020 extruded aluminum, cutting it with anything but a blade that's made for aluminum just results in lots of like hairs, like metal splinters basically coming off the end. Burr, I guess it would be called, and then and then it just doesn't look good overall. And the steel blades that are kind of like, I don't know exactly what they are, some kind of fiber material. They just leave it kind of buttery and mushy. So it's not good unless you buy a very expensive saw blade, it seems, to cut aluminum. And I went ahead and made that investment. Looks like it came out pretty good. Okay, so so we'll do the top piece now, and that ought to be fun. Try and get it cut a little more accurately. That'll be basically one wall complete. And I was gonna put, you know, a couple of L joints on this side, but right here on the top, and that'll just kind of help secure it. But honestly, I don't think it, with the way it's going to be pushing down on here, I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so now let's measure once again. If I remember correctly, this is about 3/4 of an inch. The inside is about 1/4 of an inch. So what I want to do is measure this up to, start on this side. I measure it from one end to the other, and then I subtract that distance minus 1/2 inch minus, so if I went all the way from one side to the other, it would be minus 2 3/4, so 1.5 inches, and that'll give me just the center area minus these 2020 extruded aluminums, and that's so like 86 3/4. So if I remove 1.5 inches, then I'll be at 85 3/4. And then if I go down some more, or no, 85, move off 1/2 inch. 80, now I'm lost. I should probably use my phone like I would typically do, but let's see here. 86 3/4. So it's roughly 1/4 is the size of the channel. If I took off 1.5 inches, 86 3/4, 1.5 inches, I'd end up with 85 1/4. So then if I want to take off or add, I'd end up at add 1/4 basically. I'd end up at 85 3/4, adding a 1/2 inch essentially for both channels. Then I'll just take off a little bit, not much, maybe a few 1/16. And then that should give me a pretty good tolerance within the chambers of this thing. So 86 or 85 3/4 minus a couple 16. Where'd that marker go? 85 3/4 minus a couple 16. Marker's over here. 85 3/4 and a couple 16. I like to make everything overly complicated. So it's just a little bit over 85 3/4. Come on. 85 3/4 minus a couple of 16ths. I'm gonna hold this measuring tape up with my belly. Okay. All right. Okay. So now this hopefully will be a much nicer cut, and won't have so many issues. Let's see. So maybe a little deeper. Whatever. Let's go. Yeah. All these measurements, they're just based off the size of the room and things I have, limiting me in that regard. So nothing to overthink about. Now I'm kind of thinking this. It might be a little better to do this more like drywall, maybe, and then like I kind of like cut one side rather than trying to go all the way through. I just kind of go as much as I can. Something like that perhaps will be a little better. Okay, that's way off. I mean, it's hard either way is what I want to say. Doesn't really matter if I try to like just go halfway through. It's like struggling. Okay, so maybe like drywall. I can bend it maybe? Kind of looks like it might be possible. It is. It turns out it is possible. So I mean, I don't know who's going to be doing this or why they're going to be doing it, if not for a similar reason I am, but you know, maybe this will help somebody. Okay. This should be more or less the right size, and okay, a couple of spots that are no good. Not the Fume. I don't want to go too deep. Hopefully that's good. Try and clean the get this protective piece off of here, off of the edges at least, so that I can snap it in. Kind of reminds me of I don't know if you guys game or not, whoever's watching, but it's like this game Portal. There's like these like windows, or I guess people are looking through. They're kind of watching you in these experiments, and kind of reminds me of those windows. It's kind of like that ribbed look to it. I kind of feel like I'm being watched, just holding this thing. Okay, making my way down the side. Tearing past. Let's see. Yep. That's most of the side, I believe. This side. Get that pulled down. Okay. And there's a little bit of damage up on the top of this, right up here, but I think, fortunately, I think it's going to be cut. So it shouldn't be a big deal. No, I'll just throw that here for now. Okay, cool. So we're gonna move on to this top half. Now I'm gonna have to do a cut, and I'll use the T-square again for that. Make sure it's a nice, clean cut. Okay. So let's do that. Get this going. Okay. Okay, it looks like so far, and I'm sorry, dude. I swear to gosh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get better at like, figuring out my position relative to the camera, stuff like that. I'm new to this. I'm brand spanking new. I've never done this. If I have any shame, this is me showing it. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's go. But I do feel like I need to have a slightly better quality stream here. Hopefully I'll get there. Okay, so just that. That'll give me something to kind of look at. I got this thing for my camera, which kind of like allows me to see via reflection what the stream looks like, roughly. Just what the camera view looks like. Let's see. I do have a mini remote monitor, and I tried to set it up before the stream, but it was not setting up. Unfortunately, I need to do that ahead of stream. Next time I'll know. So it's hard to keep myself in frame because I don't have reference. I've never done it before, but I'll review this footage after, and that'll help me out, I think, a lot. Like centering the camera would be nice too, probably, but you know, what can we do? Okay. All right, so boop, boop, boop. Let's see. This is gonna go up here, and it'll go down the hall. And so I wanna. So it's at 42, and just a little over a quarter, about half a quarter. So 2/8. All right, so it was a little over half a quarter. So it's at 42 and a quarter and 2/8, or 2/16. Okay, quarter, 48, 2/16. 40. I'd rather do it 100 times if I have to. 42 and a little over a quarter. 2/16 over a quarter. So I need to take off. An inch and a half. So an inch and a half over 42 and a quarter. Bring down to 41 and a quarter minus a half inch. So that'll take me to 40 and a half. Or 40 and 75. Yeah, 40 and 3/4, and then a little bit over that. So 40 and 3/4, and a little bit over 2/8, 2/16. All right, so we want 41. No, we want 40. Here, then roughly here. So basically, I want to be right above this. Okay, I think I'm not a professional, but I think I just want to go. And because I don't put the right angles there, I suppose I won't have to worry about cutting the notches out at the bottom. Okay, so razor blade, handy dandy, and then gibbly gobbly. let's see. So I just want to stay over this, basically, as I go. As I go, I just want to stay over that. I'll fold in half at the end. Go from there. Okay. Come on. This is it's like, I don't know if this is good or easy or not, but it definitely feels easier going this way. I would say it is. I'm not having to plow through a bunch of these ribs. Just keep it going. Oh, don't like that. What does that do? I just want to make sure I stay below this particular rib here. Otherwise, my cut will not be straight. Okay, so rib is there, rib is there. I go so fast right here and I lose track of my rib. So, I mean, I am below it right here. Looks like. I'm just trying to fix it after I really can. Trying to fix any mistakes after. Okay. I mean, I guess I don't mind so much if I go up, but what I really don't want to do is go down. Pretty big difference, I believe. I can always come back and fix it if I have to cut down, but I can't do that if I have to go up. So hopefully. Almost there. I was kind of expecting that to bend a little better, but not really. Definitely a lot easier to just do like one side of the cut at a time. I want to say that's definitely a lot easier. Okay. I also kind of wonder, like, is there a special tool for this? There's always some kind of special tool. It just makes things a lot cleaner, a lot easier. Okay. Not drywall. All right. Let's see. I just kind of hope like it's straight. Is all that matters. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just hoping it's on the same rib because that's like a relative good tolerance. So it kind of looks like, for the most part, I think we went down right here and then we came back up at the end. So I'm sure it'll be fine, especially with the silicone going around and over it. So what I think I'll do to be able to get this in is I'll probably go ahead and bring this on the ground like I had it previously and maybe slide it in. I'm not totally sold on that yet. But I also need to cut the notches out for these L joints. So let me take care of that, and just so I can rehash all I'm doing when I say I'm cutting these when I say, let's see, what's the best way to do this? Okay, my hand is here. It's on the corner. Okay. So I'm literally just taking this, I'm putting it on the corner, and I'm just trying to see how far does it go vertically and horizontally, and I'm just cutting, you know, this out, just enough to go around that thing. So nothing complicated there. Where is it? That was right here. And I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. The idea being that, I mean, obviously you can't put this in at the same time as that, but the idea being this will hopefully keep, this will hopefully be sealed once the silicone goes across it, to close up any gaps or errors ever made in the cuts. So it shouldn't be a problem. And then it just hides the joints and keeps them kind of neatly hidden. That's the thought process. I don't know if that's really going to work out, though. That's what I'm hoping works out. Okay. So, there we have it. Should be good. And then we have this piece on the ground. Lift this up. I'm missing a set screw down here. I'm not sure where that belongs, but there we have it. Okay, so don't have the Allen wrench in my pocket. No, it's right here. Okay. So, see if we can get this to where you can see it. All I'm trying to do now, currently, is yeah, for some reason these set screws are just way down here. I see. So the idea here being that this goes there. Okay, that's why. All right, we're almost there. I'm just trying to screw this. Maybe it'd be easier to put the Allen wrench in. Okay, let's do that. Okay. So the idea here is I'm just gonna have this slide down just like that. Hopefully you can see that. Just gonna slide down just like this. Boop, and then create my right angle there. And that'd be the end of my frame. So, and the just heard the thing come off of this side. Make sure I got that on. Okay. So that side's screwed down. Just gonna do the same thing on this side. Use this as a template. The small piece has a template to make sure I got the right size of it. Okay, goes there, that goes there, this goes here, and this tightens. Okay, all right, so that's a little bit of progress. Okay, I see a chat from, looks like a bot. If you guys want to chat, you know, ask questions or whatever, wonder what I'm doing, feel free. I would like for you to engage, and there's a couple mechanisms that you can use to actually engage in directly with me. If you join the Discord, there's a couple of little features we'll have, being able to manipulate a pixel board, being able to write on a whiteboard with a CNC, and being able to speak to me directly via text-to-speech over Discord using commands. So if you're interested in that, please do join. the Discord, and you can participate with the stream and engage with me that way. And when we get to the programming and stuff like that, you'll be able to consult and ask questions. And essentially, we're just going to be building some open source software that anybody can use, hobbyist professionals, to improve how easy it is for them to be able to make art creations with CNCs. Essentially, it's just going to be a custom tailored software that just makes it any operation as far as like creatives go just a lot simpler and streamlined in one place. And then making it easy for anyone to, it's going to be open source, so anyone can connect to it. I'll have plenty of guides and consultation on the streams and videos and things for everyone to go look at. So let's see. So, all right, let's get this put on. So I think the best way to do this is going to be to lay this thing down, put this on, and then put the top on. Tighten it down. So it is going to be kind of strange. It is holding in there, though, I must say. A lot more rigid now, having added this piece. I do kind of think of it, wish I did put those other ones on here, but I think it'll be all right for now. Can always improve on the next wall. Just turning this thing sideways. I'm not sure if I'm on camera or not. I should do the camera first. Basically, you can just hear me making noises. Just trying to turn this thing sideways so I can lay it down, and then we can go from there. So we'll bring it over here. Okay. So there it is. That's the back wall there. I'm just going to lay this down now towards me, just like so. Hopefully not too hard. All right. Seems like that was pretty smooth. Don't see any real issues. Let me get this out of the way. Put that there. I'm going to go ahead and slide this a little further down. I don't know what exactly y'all can see. Hopefully you can see me struggling. Let me come over here and aim this down. Okay. Oh God, let me guess, you're looking at my feet now. Yes, I will join you down there. Let me grab this piece and then see what we can do. So the idea is I'm going to try to slide this in from the top, but I am going to need more space. So let me slide this down. That hits the camera, so that's not what I want to do. Move this over here, get rid of the T-square out of the way. Okay. Okay. So I think this should make things a little bit better. Okay. Here we go. Cool. There should be enough space, hopefully. And ideally, everything's the right size now. This will just kind of slide on down to the channel. Ooh, get it in there. Okay. There's that side. Come around. Go to this side. Do the same thing. Okay, perfect. Make sure this is in. I'm not trying to force you to look at my my backside, and I apologize. Okay, cool. Yes, okay. So it's in both channels. Hopefully, if I just smoothly kind of do this from the middle, it'll follow all the way down. So far, so good. Okay. Struggling a little bit. Would be good to have something on this side to kind of push against, but there is something there and we'll hit it soon. Okay. Okay. One side is going down, the other side is going diagonal, which is not quite what we want. So, pull this back. Okay, interesting. So it's pretty much seems to be going in. Just down at these ends, I'm struggling to get it to slide anymore. Did that come out? Hopefully not. This one. Okay. That might be about as good as that'll get. And then I praise this will go in. And the more I look at this, I might have. I actually definitely did go too far down in that cut. Because I basically was treating it as if the top frame was going to be inset, but actually it's on the end. So this is technically not valid. Not valid, and it looks pretty accurate outside from the fact that it's way too short. But it looks consistently short all the way across. It's kind of good. All right, so fortunately, we can reuse this elsewhere. It's not exactly going to be, waste. So I'll just leave it there for now, and then I'll have to do another one. Unfortunately, I'll have to cut it correctly this time. So the width on that thing was spot on. The width was really clean on that thing. So what I might do is actually go ahead and copy this basically, so I can skip a measurement. And okay, and then I'll go to mark the other side. So my T-square and my marker are over here. I got to be able to get over there. So I'm going to move the overhead. Okay. All right. We're getting close. That's what I know. I'm making progress one failure at a time, as I would say in this moment. Learn from the mistakes. All right. So this we want here. And then on this side, basically just want it to be right there. Okay, and that'll go there. This will go here. Okay. So now, just gotta Okay. What are you guys able to see right now? Nothing. Not a thing with the camera. All right. Get a nice little shot of me cutting this again. Not the funnest thing to do. It's pretty hard to cut. Let's make sure this is up enough so you're not looking at my shins. And all right. And it's pretty much tall enough. It was just one 2020 extrusion away, 20 millimeters, roughly 3/4 of an inch. So, and that's all that happened there, unfortunately. It was a bit off as a result of that. All right, so. Okay, too fast there. Getting all jacked up. Stay on the line. Stay on the line. That's way too far off the line. Let's go from top, bottom up. I don't know, is it just me or is anybody else cut easier when they're cutting from the bottom up? Okay, well, maybe this isn't the best example. I feel like cutting up is like the equivalent of ride home. It just seems shorter somehow. Not sure. In this case, I'm gonna take that back. Okay. So last time I think I was able to kind of drywall this thing. Okay. Right. Oh my God. Come on. Clean that up. This paper peeled up. It looks pretty straight. I would say it's not the best, but it's not the worst. So I made that mistake, but I will have to be more careful because I don't actually have any more pieces I can afford to make a mistake on. So hopefully that was the last one. I just have to be extra careful on these next cuts because for some reason I didn't like measure all these out ahead of time. You know, I guess I thought it'd be fun to do it ad hoc in front of everybody. Anybody? Eventually. Like it's non-corporeal or something like that. So, anyways, maybe you'll be here in the future. Right now, it's just me. And I'm just alone, streaming and building things. And not exactly the most smooth build, but it's coming together. And if I'm being honest, that'll probably be the outcome of most things I do. It comes together, but it takes a little bit of trial and error because I'm learning and it makes sense in my head. Sometimes it doesn't quite work the exact way I think it would. All right. So now I got 2 of these pieces at the same width, and in reality, or the dream, the hope, is that it basically will just be, should basically just be the same size as that one, plus the width of a bar, 20 millimeters. Yeah, I think the bottom of this cut may not have been as good. All right, so effectively, this would go here. So then I could see that the I just want to go here. All right. And now if I go back and look at where here was, it should just be that rib all the way down. And then this time we should have the right size. Okay, so right here, I just want to stay on that rib the whole way down. The better I stay on it, the nicer the cut looks. The idea here is only cut halfway through, trying to avoid any kind of like additional stress or sudden bursts where like it kind of gets unstuck and just too much force is like making it go off a straight line. I don't want to deviate too far from this line. I want to stay as straight as I can, so I want to go as I don't want to go deep into this. All right, making it through. I think this came out better, I want to say, than the last one. Good so far. I might have fudged up a little at the end, but overall, I'm imagining it's going to be pretty close to what I want. So. Okay. All right. Made it through another one. Get some of this tore off so I can get it under the into the T-saw channel and not have to like try to peel it out later. Let's go. Oh, that's an ugly. That's ugly. I should have probably noticed that before I paid for these things, huh? That's not a great one. All right, there's some damage on these things. So if you're gonna buy these, make sure you're getting nice ones. Don't be like me. Don't do that. Okay. All right. I think we'll be a lot better off this time. That's the hope. That's the dream. So. All right. Let me start over here. All right, get this corner in. Okay. Great. Come over here. Get this side in. Okay. And then ideally, we can just go straight down the middle here. It'll just slide down. Yeah. Once it hits something, anyways. So far, so good. This side is okay. It looks like it's just getting bent a little bit. But otherwise, I think we're okay. Good. Alright. It is it's no longer in the channel on this side. Just creating a little bit of a problem. I think I fixed it. Okay, well, I think that side has a little bit too much. My mushroom came off. A little too much extra. Just a little bit extra plastic. Okay. It does seem better this time around. However, it's not actually sliding down into the channel at the bottom. And on one side, the channel at the from the bottom piece is not in the thing anymore. So I think what I'm going to try and do is lift this back up so I can readjust all those things. Ooh. Yeah, so that's not great. Okay. Ooh, not great. All right, well, all that moving around looks like, unfortunately, it looks like pulled just too many flexies. It's just skewed a little too much, and this thing popped out. So too much flex. So what might we do to get around this? I mean, it might be reasonable to go out of this direction. Oh, thank you. Alright, well, let's go back and fix this. So, I must have never tightened that. Did I already know that I didn't tighten that? Okay. So basically, that corner is not tightened, came out, and now I gotta tighten it again. I guess tighten it the first time. I don't know. Just needs to be tightened. Okay. Great. Now, try and slide that in. out. Okay. Okay, so it's in the bottom channel. Okay, it's in the bottom channel now. So the goal here, apologies for the, sounds like a cat having a hairball in the background. If you can hear it, I don't know if you can, probably not even. If you can hear the cat, leave a comment. All right. Slowly but surely, that should be my name. That should be my middle name. Shoot. Okay. Okay. All right, we're back in. Back in. Okay. Now, stop back in. How did that happen? That's just two up. Okay. Come on. Get in the jail. Get in the flask. Oh my gosh. Fuck. Alright, finally. Okay, that's it. Can we get this one in? Okay. Looks like that's back in. Not an easy process, let me say. Gotta get this side in now. I do want to measure this because that does not look good right. That's at 41 1/4. This one's at 41 1/4. And yet one side is significantly lower than the other. It should be seated there. Looks like it is. I kind of wonder if I have the wrong, oh my God, do I have the wrong pole here? 2020. So this is roughly 90. Come on. Should be 90. Meanwhile, this one, let's get this out of the way. Really seems like this one's a little too long. Or rather, one of them is too short. That says 90. So then, possibly. Should be just about 46. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what was going on there. This one side just isn't all the way, I guess. I don't know. Weird. All right. Must have been at a weird angle. That's my guess. I definitely must kind of just has to be longer on one side than the other. That's all that can really be. And I thought my cut was so straight, so I'm a little surprised. What I should probably do is mark both sides. So that's 41 1/4. This is 41 1/4. And yeah, one side of this definitely seems to be longer than the other. As soon as it gets put up here. So, let's get this here. Because that is. So maybe it's this one. But this, I believe, was 46 and 46. So there's that. Okay, come on, slide in there. Wiggle on down in there. Come on. Alright, slide up in there. Try from the top down. I mean, one bummer is that the sliding thing was working. Yeah, I feel like the main problem was just it wasn't even when it was hitting something back here. It created issues. But otherwise, it's kind of working. All right, so. Interesting. I wonder if I can cut a small bezel type deal to make this slide in a little easier. Let's give it a shot. Shoot. Okay. That is interesting. All right. See that slides in. Ooh, took out some of the sealant with that. I never really realized how sensitive drop sealing was. I always thought it was kind of like tougher, but it really is just like pocketing it. Okay. It does seem to go on a little easier. Proud to report it. Okay. So that's good so far. Now I just got to get it into this middle one, which is definitely not going to be very easy. I am a little short still on that, but I think it shouldn't be too bad. If I do a couple layers of caulk, probably clean that up. All right. Because when these things slide in, okay. Okay, so that wasn't actually in. But now, hopefully it'll go in. I mean, I might just have to, because another problem is that this keeps getting loose. I might have to come in here and like really make sure that's tight. This middle piece on both sides, so I can control this thing without me tearing the other side apart. So we made, looks like I'm just gonna have to backtrack a little bit and get both sides on here. Or maybe even more accurately, I just need to get one side. Okay. Where's my hammer at? Okay. Let's get out of here. Come on. Okay. Yeah, nothing about this was like tightened down. Right. Should slide that way. And I should be able to slide this one this way. This way I can actually tighten the thing. It's not gonna work. Interesting. This just got knocked right out. This set screw. Yeah. All right. So we're on one side. Push it as far as I can. Screw that down, tighten it. Oh man. There. Tighten that set screw down. Second attempt. Yeah, maybe I can perfect this and build a kit. Because right now, this is no fun. Let's see if I can hit this down at all. Yeah, so almost seems like you need, I'd want to have a middle piece to just kind of keep everything in the center bow, because it's bowing out, which is kind of like allowing it to come out, which is not ideal. But I mean, that side's pretty secure now. So let's see what happens here. Just turning it around because I already had the notches cut out on this side. So I think part of the issue here is that it looks like it's a little bit tall, and that's making it challenging. I think what I'll do is cut down a little bit of it. Okay. You know, I mean, I understand we've been on this for a while now, but I feel like I'm learning. And I assume anyone who has never done anything like this, well, they're probably learning too. So it can't be a total waste time. Maybe just learning for sure how not to do it. Just as valuable, I'd say. Just trying to cut a tiny bit off. Okay. Okay. Huh, okay. Alrighty then. Yeah. Okay, sorry for being quiet. Let's see. It's just trying to focus because it's kind of tedious. Yeah, I mean, basically, I just gotta cut these notches out, and go ahead and try once more. Not totally sure how long it's been, but I'll probably end this stream a little bit early and rethink things a little bit. Maybe do a couple experiments. Might have probably gotten away with doing it before this, but here we are. Yeah, this is presenting quite the challenge, I must say. Because I have, let's see, I have 1, 2 more. So, kind of just have to figure out how to get this to work. And I'm thinking the main problem here is I can't slide it in, unfortunately. I'll just get you a snap on in there. Okay. Just seems to have snapped in there that time. So, okay. So it does seem to be up there. The only issue I see now is yeah, so the only issue I'm seeing now is that, can you see the corner? Let's see. Let's see, where's the corner here? Uh-oh. Okay, undo that, put that back, put that back. Oh, okay. Apparently I've lost connection to the stream. So, okay, plug that back in. Hopefully this should be good. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. All right. This stream is, that one's still working. Okay, we're back. Let's go. Let's do. Okay, we are back. So the problem I'm having now is simply that this is not going to be long enough, and considering I don't have any more of these, I have to tweak my design a little bit, because this is meant to go on the end. However, it's definitely going to have to go into it like this, which is not going to be possible without a cut, unfortunately. So, this is going to need a cut, and that will allow me to get this in. So, seems a little odd because one side is definitely, this has 87, not quite the same as the other side, just by a small amount difference. That's a little under 87. So I do want to make sure I get this piece cut correctly, and I believe this is going to have to go up right about to there. Okay. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and end the stream. Just because it's been an hour, I'm kind of new to all this. Or it's been 2 hours. I'm kind of new to all this, and there's definitely some challenges here. I should have tested out ahead of time to come up with a better approach, because things are not sliding in as ideally. Okay. As ideally as I would like. So I do want to take some time, make some adjustments, and considering the pieces I'm out of, I might have to go ahead and shorten the walls as well, just a hair. But that shouldn't require any big changes. Just a few. It seems to me it should just be a few. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we'll do, part 2, we'll come back into this. Let me move the camera. Still getting used to all this. Part 2, we'll come back into this. We'll get this wall finished up. I'll cut the thing shorter, and then I'm going to come up with a better strategy. The next walls are smaller. This is the biggest wall. So with the smaller walls, I believe it should hopefully be a little bit more manageable. Way out of camera view here. But yeah, hopefully it'll be a lot more manageable. And we'll get this done in the next 2 parts. Maybe the next part will be good enough. But yeah, so we'll come back and then try and be there, hang out with me. I know it's kind of a tedious process so far, but I'm not an expert at building these things, and it's just kind of an idea I had for a room. It seems like it's gonna work. I mean, this is like a functioning wall. The problem is just getting into the channels and having all the channels in. It gets a little hard to do. There might be a better way to do this. I'm not sure what that is right now. So I'm going to look into that and try to figure that out. And in the meantime, come back, leave some comments, tell me what you thought. I'll clean this video up. All the parts will get combined into one video, and basically the idea would be to combine them all into one video, clean up the speech, clean up the narration, have all these shots, these beautiful shots of things, and a kind of a quick time of me running around putting it together. Fortunately, all of my sources on OBS are separately saving, so I can manipulate the video any way I'd like. But yeah, part 1 of the Fume extraction room. So come back for part 2, and we'll make it better. Thank you. Let me go. I'm not going to leave just yet. I'm just going to put you guys in standby mode, and then what we'll do, is, ReliefWood.com is coming out. Discord, ReliefWood. I'll put some socials on the website. I don't think you can join the Discord right now without a invite. So I'll put those links on the website here shortly, within the next stream or 2. Definitely before the next stream, I think. But yeah, that'll help us give you guys some content and let you engage a little more, let you ask questions, and please, by all means, use the chat on whatever social platform I'm on, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, or currently Rumble. ReliefWood on all of these platforms, and we'll get better. It's a learning curve. So, yeah, we'll get this room together, and then we'll start doing a bunch of cool stuff with CNCs. That'll be coming up. So stay tuned for that. Come back again. And watch the videos if you're coming here from the future, and maybe just spend time on the compiled video. The stream is more for engagement and for community, and getting things built in a way that you guys wanted to see it built. So thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock, same time. I might actually do an earlier show tomorrow, maybe around 2 or 3 until like 5 or 6. So please join me, hang out with me, watch me fail, hopefully succeed. But I've learned some things today, and we'll go from there. So thank you, and goodbye. Signing off. Oh, I don't have a good way of doing this quickly, so